It's Wednesday, July 30th.
This is The Warning.
Jeffrey Epstein continues to reach out his hand from the grave to his old best friend, Donald Trump, who tells us now the source of his bitter estrangement from Jeffrey Epstein was the former's poaching from the latter, which includes apparently Virginia Go Free.
I have a great spa, one of the best spas in the world at Mar-a-Lago, and people were taken out of the spa, hired by him. In other words, gone. And other people would come and complain, this guy is taking people from the spa. I didn't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told him, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not spa. I don't want him taking people. And he was fine, and then not too long after that, he did it again, and I said, out of here.
Mr. President, did one of those stolen, persons, that include Virginia Jeffrey?
I don't know. I think she worked at the spa. I think so. I think that was one of the people, yeah. He stole her.
This poor child, abused by Prince Andrew, Jeffrey Epstein, and the callous indifference of the most powerful people in the world who came through Jeffrey Epstein's front door and out over and over and over again without bothering to care. They looked, they saw, and they looked away. This is what Elie Wiesel said about indifference. And that is the sin here. It is the sin of indifference. Trump's indifference. Alan Dershowitz's indifference. Bill Gates' indifference. Bill Clinton's indifference. And so it goes on and on and on. Now, as a political matter, Donald Trump is a demagogue and a liar, the most spectacular in American history, who somehow, through luck and miracle and our shared collective misery, has been paired up against opponents where, incredibly, the liar in 2 national elections was viewed on the issues of the day as the more honest candidate. And because of that, today in America, we have this. And this.
ICE officers and Border Patrol, they don't need probable cause to walk up to somebody, briefly detain them, and question them. They just need this totality of the circumstances, right? They just got through the observation, get articulable facts based on their location, their occupation, their physical appearance, their actions. Like a uniformed Border Patrol agent walks up to them at for instance, a Home Depot. And they got all these articulable facts, plus the person walks away or runs away. Agents are trained. What they need to detain somebody temporarily and question them. It's not probable cause, it's reasonable suspicion.
We have insanity involving cancer research.
The agency was not doing what it was supposed to be doing, which is preventing disease, chronic disease, particularly in Americans. Americans during that period got sicker and sicker and sicker. Oh, and the agency is bloated. When I got there, there were 100 communications departments. There were 40 procurement departments, 40 IT departments, 40 HR departments. And we streamlined the agency. We got rid of the redundancy, and that's how we save that money.
We have trillions of dollars of debt. We have incoherence in our national security policy, and we have a growing venom emanating from the White House that is the current, at some level, of a new national religion of malice. There is no small number of Americans who are cheering for the cruelty and cheering for the brutality and are turned on by the cruelty porn that's being produced on places like Fox News. Here.
70% of the people we're arresting are criminals. Hard stop, 70%. Who are the other 30%? The other 30% are national security threats. Like we've arrested over 300 Iranian nationals. These are people who are national security threats based on intelligence, based on other information. These are people we have to take off the street, that we have to deport. Who's the rest of that 30%? These are people who had due process.
What Donald does is throw out meat to the masses. Lock up Obama, lock up Kamala, lock up everybody, shoot the Mexicans, everything and anything to avoid talking about that hand reaching up and out from the grave over and over and over again. It makes us look at Donald Trump, those weird and strange and immoral and disgusting moments, like when he said this about the teenage beauty pageants.
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like
everything
a doctor.
is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women.
Or he said this about his daughter.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Stop it. Oh, it's so weird. Stop
You know what? You are sick.
Isn't it terrible?
Well, you're known for saying
Is that
outrageous
terrible?
things, Mr. Trump.
Who are you, Woody Allen?
There's a lot of talk these days about manhood, about being a man, about what men are supposed to do, be like, the collapse of a code, if you will. Here's the deal. Fathers don't talk about their daughters like this, ever. Fathers protect their daughters. They don't fetishize them. There's always been something sick and wrong with Donald Trump. And can it be surprising when you think about it? When you delve deeply and ponder the scumbaggery that flourishes around Donald Trump, that in the end, who would be his friend? A man who struggles with connection, who seeks only domination. Who would it be that he would find his way to? And in the end, of course, it was the man he drew pictures for and joked with, the most notorious American pedophile of the 21st century, the friend of the president, Donald Trump's bestie, Jeffrey Epstein. And so this is a scandal stoked by conspiracy, inflamed by nuts, all of them around Trump in positions of power now. And now the reality, the truth, all of it is coming due, and the wall cannot hold the water back because that truth is spilling over the top, and it's going to come out, every detail of it. The accountability for what these people did and to whom they did it, we're at the edge of it coming due. And the first place that sunlight's going to hit is on one of the most corrupt men at the center of one of the most corrupt events, who reigns from one of the most corrupt places on earth, the patio of Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning. I invite you to join this community where I promise to be honest, blunt, and direct about what is happening in this country. America is in crisis. Follow and subscribe to this channel and on Substack. Thank you